All right, today we are talking with Chad Verity. He's the CEO of Holmetrics. They're a Canadian-based software company that specializes in workforce analytics. Chad, could you just give us a little bit more of an intro to yourself and the company?
Yeah, thanks so much, David. So Holmetrics, we're based out of Calgary, Alberta. We have team members spread out all across the country. We started Holmetrics in 2019, pre-COVID, as a way of empowering leaders to create healthy, life-giving places to work by connecting the dots between employee experience and organizational performance using data analytics. And so that's what we get to do every day. It's been quite a journey over the past couple of years, but it's very exciting, and we love what we do.
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about the product and how it can help companies find people. But before we get there, I'm talking to a lot of companies right now, just what they're doing to attract technical talent, how they're finding people. It's becoming ever more difficult just to get the right people inside your company. And you've done something very interesting. You have this internship program that you have created. It's co-done with Ventures for Canada and the University of Calgary. Can you tell us a little bit more about the program, kind of people, what you have them doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it kind of happened by accident. I had my, we got connected into a group called Ventures for Canada, and at the same time, I had an old friend of mine who had just finished his third year of his psych degree and was looking for a place to work, and we connected the two, and it was a huge success. And ever since then, our internship program has really been a huge part of our hiring and recruiting strategy. A lot of our interns come back. Our internship program is broken into undergrad positions, which is a lot of web development and engineering, and our grad internship programs, which is industrial organizational psychology and data privacy and security, data science. And so actually, I don't know if we've ever had a grad intern not move into full-time employment once they've finished the internship program and completed their degree. So it's been a huge part of our recruitment and retention program, and it's a ton of fun. We have our summer internship program, which usually culminates in some sort. It culminates in our retreat that we have every year. And so we have tons of memories. A lot of our undergrad interns go on to work at kind of the tier one tech firms that everyone's heard of. But it has become a piece of necessity too, where we get access to some of the youngest and brightest minds in Western Canada and across the country. And we desperately need that right now. So it's kind of a symbiotic relationship.
How long has the program been going on, and how many people have come through it so far?
Yeah, from the beginning, and I think we at least 7 or 8 between both the grad and undergrad programs.
Okay. And what advice would you have for another company that says, we'd like to get our own internship program, partner with the university? What would you have them look at or have them consider?
Yeah, I think so. Getting connected with Ventures for Canada, which is a nonprofit that utilizes federal funding in Canada. So obviously, you have to be a Canadian company, but utilizes federal funding to place university students in companies for typically a 4-month term. Yeah, I think interns. I was an intern going back to some of the internships that I did when I was in college. You definitely supervision is key, and just making sure interns are managed well and led well through that process is going to make the difference between an intern that can make a substantive contribution to your organization and an intern that doesn't, and an intern that walks away thinking that your company is the greatest place to work on the planet, or someone who goes back to university with mixed reviews. And they do go back and they connect with their friends. And so it's not long before the entire comp sci degree program at the university either has a positive or negative perspective on your company.
Is there an intern success story, like one person that really stands out that's now a huge contributor to the company or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So like our lead industrial organizational psychologist, his name is Lex. It was really funny. Like early in the early days of Holmetrics, I didn't know the difference between clinical psychology and industrial organizational psychology. And we were always butting our head up against the wall when it came to our research and development. That understanding that there was a difference was a big step. And then we just started looking for IO psychology grad students across North America. And we found Lex. I found Lex on LinkedIn, and he lived in my hometown, which is just north of Calgary. Yep. And he was studying in an American university, but he lived 10 minutes from me. And we met at a coffee shop. We connected, and he was employee number 4, is still with us. He's moved to Vancouver, but is one of those, just his contribution to Holmetrics is very tangible and will endure for the longevity of the company. Sure.
Yeah. All right. So you're a hands-on technology kind of person as well as being CEO. Always good to have 2 jobs, I guess. You can rely on one. But where do you see technology carrying us in the next couple of years? How's it going to relate to your software company? And what do you see that other companies need to pay attention to?
I think it really has transformed how we understand work, right? So we can work from anywhere. And it's weird for me. And your viewers are incredibly bright, so this might not be that big of a light bulb moment, but
we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. But it's thinking back pre-pandemic, there's things that we did that don't make sense anymore, and I don't know why we didn't clue into it. Right, like I was in San Francisco right before that. Like I remember watching CNN on the hotel talking about the case numbers in California. So it was right at the beginning of the pandemic. We were headed to Toronto to have some business meetings. Those got canceled, and it's just like, why were we going to go to Toronto to meet with these people? Why would we do that? And so it has changed the way that we think about business and the connectivity. The technology existed before. It's gotten better, absolutely, but it existed before. And it's really our mindset around how we do our work that's changed. And I think understanding that the seismic shift in how we work, how we go to work, who can work where, will forever change the planet, in my opinion. So I think when it comes to technology, it's really, how far and wide can communication technology take us? And I do think that data analytics, because we're simply just creating far more data than we did before. Yes. We're having a comprehensive conversation cross borders around data privacy and what that role is. Personally, I think that the everyday employee needs to educate themselves more on what that looks like in the workplace. And I think data analytics will take, because with what we do, we can really provide some really interesting insights that are valuable to employers. And I think that because of that, data analytics will play a much larger role and it's just changed, right? You think about going to work at the beginning of the millennium in 2000, right? It was mostly men going to buildings at the same time for the same amount of time. My dad went to have the same job for 30 years and he retired with a pension. That doesn't happen anymore.
No.
And so that is gone, right? And so the workforce today is so dynamic, so diverse, so geographically spread out, and yet the management tools that we have were created in a previous generation and a previous time. And so data analytics and the tools that we extrapolate from the digital footprint that we are creating are going to play a role in what management looks like in this new workplace. And we all have a role to play in educating ourselves for our own benefit, because I think that is where we're going. And I think the more that we are empowered ourselves to understand that, the better.
Yeah. Hey, summing up one of the things you said, one of the comments I've heard a lot is 15 years of change inside of 3 months. To accurately describe the beginning of the
100%.
pandemic. So yeah, and no, you hit the nail on the head. What people are wanting, what people are looking for in companies is vastly different. And what's important? Why are we going to these meetings? Why are we going to these places? Absolutely. You mentioned data analytics, and yes, you're right. We absolutely have more data analytics, but that puts a premium on people who understand data science. Would you agree?
Absolutely. And that's something that we work with, trying to do our best here locally in our ecosystem is just realize, like, helping the broader academic world. If a high school student graduates and takes a data science program, a computer science program, they will never need a job ever again, right?
Yep.
Certainly in our environment that's very still saturated in oil and gas. Um, you know, 10 years ago, you'd have a high school student drop out to go work in the oil patch and make 120,000 a year. Now the same is true, but of students that go and pursue technology and pursue data science. So, and we have a really robust college here in my town that doesn't provide any sort of computer engineering, data science training whatsoever. And it's like, if we're really focused on providing career pathways for the future, that has to be number one. And so, for any student who finds their way to viewing this podcast, it really has to be top of mind to pursue a career that you will be pursued by the biggest companies in the world, and
Yep.
and offered a fairly limitless compensation package.
Yep. I agree. All right. So Holmetrics, who should call you? Who do you want to reach out to you? What do you want companies to know about you?
Yeah, really. We just had a great conversation with a large nonprofit in the U.S., and they came to us and they said, here's this. I don't know if you can help with this, but we seem to have a problem with burnout in our organization. And every time we try and fix it, we make it worse. And we don't know exactly where it's happening or how it's happening. Do you do anything with that? And it's like, that's why we created Holmetrics. We do far more than that today, but that's right in our wheelhouse. And so, any HR professional who has identified an issue in the organization, they just want more information around where and when and how and why that's happening, so that they can make really proactive, productive interventions inside the organization. We'd love to partner with you. We partner a lot with HR consulting firms. And so we provide a really cool solution for them to run their consultant firms out of. So that's kind of who we work with every day.
All right, great. Well, it sounds like you definitely got some unique things going on, some interesting stories to tell. You're doing some great stuff to attract some people to come to you. So good luck with all that. Thanks for your time, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you, David.
All right, bye-bye.